Hello guys, today I will tell you how to save your player's data using data store service in your game. First, what is data store service? Data store service is a built-in service that Roblox provides for us so we can save the player's data. So how do actually data store service works? Imagine a person that every 1 hour he forgets his age and name. So he had an idea. What if he went to a store and bought a notebook and he wrote his name and age in the notebook? So every 1 hour he opens his notebook and reads his name and age. So imagine if 10 people every hour they also forget their name and age. So you need one notebook for every person that forgets his name and age every 1 hour. So that's how data store service works. The store is like data store service. We buy a notebook using a special function called get data store. When we write information in our notebook, we write it using a special function called setAsync. And now when we open the notebook again to read the information in it, we read it using a special function called getAsync. So how do we actually differentiate between different data? We differentiate between them using the user ID. Every player on Roblox has his own user ID. No two players can have the same user ID. Now we understand the concept. Now let's implement it in Roblox Studio. So click on File, then Experience Settings, then Security, and make sure that your studio has access to API services. So create a script in service script service because data source service is server-sided, and you can name the script whatever you want. So now I will write the script, then explain it. So as the first two lines, we created two variables. One where we get the service, which is the data source service, and two, we create a database, which is like the notebook. And here is player added, which is an event that fires when the player enters the game, and now we connect it to a function. And now we create the leader stats folder. Then inside it we create an end value, which is the coins that we will save. So data, when it loads, it can fail to load or fail to save. So we wrap it inside a pcall function, which is a nutshell for protected call. So it basically here we just tell the script if the data failed to load or save, don't crash the entire script. This variable success returns a boolean value. If the data saved successfully or loaded successfully, success will return true. But if the data failed to load or save, success will return false. And the second variable data is the data we load, and then we return the data we got from the player user ID. So as you know, we differentiate between different data using the player user ID. So that is the key to get the data. And in this line we just make an if statement to see if success equals true and there's data, and then if there's data and success, the coins value, the end value we made, will be the data, which will be the coins that we saved. And here we just make print statements to see what the problem is, if the data failed to load or if there isn't data. So here is just a player removing event that fires when the player leaves the game, so we can save his data. And here we just make a pcall function because, as we said, data can fail to save. And in these four lines we just see if there's a leader stats folder in the player, and then we see the coins int value that we made in the player added event, which is the coins. And here we just save the player's data with his user ID, so when we load the game with the user ID, the data will be there. And also I made a mistake here, it should be leader stats with a T, I forgot it in stats. Now let's test. If this video helped you, make sure to like and subscribe.